Okay, so Norton's generally running okay at the moment, except for its usual level of incontinence. I think the base gasket's leaking on that corner again. Seems to be the usual place it wets itself from, but we'll worry about that later. What I thought we'd do today is have a quick look at the clock. A long time ago the needle snapped off, and I've just not done anything about it. I've just, it's still got the tail on, so yeah, it's the number opposite the tail. But it got rather damp and condensated inside, and ever since then it's been reading particularly slow. That 112.5 miles on there it's closer to 200. So I thought we'd take it apart and have a look, see what we can find. I've never taken one of these apart before, so this could go horribly wrong. It does look like the bezel's threaded, so at least you don't have to start prizing things. But yeah, I'll get this bit unscrewed and get the glass off and take those two little screws off the back so everything falls out, and we'll see what we've got inside. Right, cup of tea, onward. Okay, well that first bit was simple enough. That just simply unscrewed, prise that little brass ring out, pop the glass out, pop the glass out before the brass ring, and out she comes. Needle popped off lovely, but these little screws up here don't want to come undone. This one's cracked off okay. That one, yeah, he's quite happy where he is. My little sort of watchmaker screwdriver thing, don't know if it'll focus on it or whether it'll just try and focus on my fingers, get them out of the way. Yeah, snap the end off it. So that's now useless. So I'll attempt to get it with a little Stanley blade because I've not got any other screwdrivers that fine. I suppose I could just file that one up. But anyway, it sort of looks somewhere near. Nothing looks too untoward. It's maybe just a little bit dry in places. Because I said it was working absolutely fine until it got some condensation inside, and then it just started reading somewhat slow. So yeah, we'll see if we can get this face off, and we'll go from there. Right, onward. Okay, while we're in, everything sort of looks as it should. It was maybe a little bit dry in places. All the little gears in there, they've all got all the teeth on them. Even the really fine ones down there, I think they're meant to be baked for light or something, I'm not sure, these little things. But all the teeth are present and correct. Nothing looks to be broken. I mean, it operated smooth, it counted miles smooth. Well, I say miles, there weren't miles, but it was counted something smooth. So I am presuming it did just get a little bit dry and condensated in there. So I think I'm just going to give everything a bit of a clean and lubricate everything up and pop it back together. But yeah, not quite as bad as I was expecting in there. I was expecting sort of fairiness and yeah, everything just about worn out, but that sort of looks somewhere near to me. Yeah, so yeah, I'll find something to give it a good clean out with, pop some more lubrication in there, and yeah, we'll go from there. Rightio. Okay, so I think we're about ready to start putting this back together. The snap needle, I've simply super glued it across the top there, so it's going to be a little bit short, but yeah, it's better than not being there at all, I suppose. And it lasts as long as it lasts, and at some point we'll get this thing sent off and serviced and calibrated properly, but for now I think this will do. So all I've really done in here is the little bits, like say this worm drive for example. I don't know if you can see, oh, there's a thing in the way, hold on. There we go. That little worm drive, that had a nice dry lump of grease on, and there was a couple of other bits like that. So all I've done is the bits that had grease on, old dry grease, I've cleaned it off and I've just put some fresh stuff on there, and generally giving things a bit of a clean. Yeah, it's a little bit more Windolene and super glue. I think Del Boy working on a chandelier than it is actually repaired properly. But anyway, clean the face out, clean the bowl, the bezel and the glass and whatnot. So yeah, we'll pop it back together and well, see if it works. Okay, well it's coming apart again. I've just popped it on the drill to test it, little square bit in the end, and yeah, it goes up lovely. Doesn't like going back though, so I've obviously upset something. So yeah, we'll pop it apart again and yeah, just see if there's anything that's oh, something's not happy, is it? Right, I'll get it apart and I'll see if I've made a cock up. Well, I've made a cock up, we'll see what I've cocked up. I have come to the conclusion that I know absolutely nothing about these Smith's chronometric speedos. Yeah, but you know, I figured broke's broke. As long as I don't lose any bits or anything daft like that, we should be okay. But yeah, so it's been several cups of tea. I think I'm halfway down that one, and a lot of squinting at it, and I don't know. So I think I'm just going to keep taking little bits off it until I cock the job up completely. Right. Yeah. Okay. Onward. Any ideas? If anyone happens to know what they're doing one of these, please let me know. See, nothing looks broken. Probably can't see on camera, but when you look in here, all these tiny little teeth all look intact. Nothing looks like it's out of line. All the springs are nicely preloaded. It's maybe just having a bit of a hissy. It might work absolutely fine if I just clean it up a little bit and put it back together. Yeah, because it is a bit geggy in places and a bit damp and I don't know. I'll have a meddle about with it and I'll bring you back when I've either got somewhere or completely cocked it up. Either way. Okay, well I've just had a bit of a meddle about with it. It seems to work again now. Not entirely sure what I've done. I think a lot of it was just things dry and sticking. I've removed this little plate and just give the springs and bits a flick about. Freed this little arm off so it returns properly now, so it's actually counting miles. And it seems to work. Seems. So let's yeah, I'll set the camera up so we can see it working, hopefully. Okay, so if I just hold that somewhere around there with the drill in the back of it, we should. Oh, look at that, it's proved me a liar. I've put it down, fixed it up, and it's not counting speed again. The gears are turning nicely for the odometer and the trip meter, but it's decided once again that it, yeah. What's slipping? Something's not doing its job, because of course there's a little cam in here. Oh, move it round. Yeah, there's a little cam in there that's meant to push these springs back and forth and rock this arm about, and it's just decided it's not doing it again. Let's try something that's right-handed. It's maybe sticking. Not entirely sure. Let me just have a quick little there we go, let's try that. There we go, it's working again. This wasn't quite seated right. So yeah, that bit that's causing the problem, don't know if we'll be able to see it on here, is that little spring there pushing against the cam. Oh, is it on the camera? Yeah, just about. Yeah, there's a little spring down there that pushes on a cam, and every now and then it just needs a bit of a nudge to convince it to work. Yeah, not quite sure what the deal is there. I'll have another fiddle around with it, see if I get any further. Okay, well I didn't really film any of that, it's back together. I got all excited it was working and threw the thing back together as quick as I could before it changed its mind. So yeah, trip meter's nicely reset again, just did that to test that. But yeah, we've done 4 miles worth of testing. It's quite nice the odometer's now working, because I said it hasn't done for quite some time. And the speedo both goes up and down. It's maybe not the best at going down, but even if it does get stuck sometimes, sort of 10-15 mile an hour, when you put the drill back on, the drill goes back up to the same speed, which is about 55ish it reads. So yeah, let's turn you guys around. So I've got a bit of room, and we'll see what happens. Look at that. Trip meter's going up nicely. So I mean, it doesn't always, there we go, go back to 0. I'm presuming it's because I'm stopping too abruptly. Because of course the drill, you let go of the trigger, just stops instantly, whereas your bike wouldn't do that while you was riding down the road, would it? It'd stop a lot more progressively. So yeah, I think we're going to call that a success. It's a success. There we go. So yeah, considering I know absolutely nothing about these little old Smith's chronometric speedos, or chronometric, sorry, get it right. Yeah, that was a lot more successful than it could have been. That could have been tragic. And I was fully expecting to take that apart, springs and bits fly everywhere, and go, oh dear, and put it all in the dustpan and start again. But yes. So what I'm going to have to do now is we'll pop it back in the bike, and I shall probably spend a couple of hours, either today, tomorrow, whenever, riding up and down the road in front of one of those flashy speed sign things, just to get an idea of roughly what that's doing. But yeah, we'll worry about that later. So yeah, I'm still quite surprised at how successful that was. Oh, and I've left a couple of thumbprints and bits inside to prove it is still the same one. So yeah, I'll get that popped back in. And if you're still here, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Ta-da!